My name is Lauren Jones, and I live in Madison, Mississippi with my three biological children, but I have four children. My oldest is a girl, and then I was blessed with three boys, and my youngest boys being 5 and 3. If I were to describe the moment that I knew I needed help, I can remember it so vividly. It was with my firstborn, the 18-year-old. I had just gotten into a sunken place, and it was the moment that I decided to be open in how I felt. And I called home to my mother, and the conversation went like, hey, Mom, I don't care about life anymore, and I don't want you to be worried about me. But if you love your granddaughter, you'd come pick her up. No, I'm not about to harm her, but I know that life looks reckless for me from here on out. Like, I literally was interested in pissing the person off at the stop sign, hoping that they would get out of their car and blow my head off. And if my daughter was in the car, then so be it. She was in the car. I didn't want anything to ever happen to her necessarily when I got to this point. But yeah, I couldn't pull the trigger myself, or I probably would have, but I definitely did things to agitate and provoke people to do it for me. And then there was another time I can remember when she was younger, because at this point, right, she's about 1. If I remember correctly, she's nearing her first birthday, and I'm still having these feelings. But earlier on, during that first 6 weeks period of having her and bringing her home from the hospital, she was very colicky. I struggled to breastfeed and produce milk. So I was just feeling like a failure on all levels, man. I was just like, this baby hates me. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm not doing it right. And again, I say, I never wanted to hurt my baby. But the constant crying, like, she cried if I fed her. She cried if I had changed her. Like, all of the things that people tell you, if the baby's crying, then it's a reason, right? Change them or feed them, or put them down for a nap. It didn't matter. She woke up from her nap, she would immediately start crying. So I was convinced that she really was not feeling me as her mom. And I had started to kind of buy into it. And all I wanted to do was rest. I just wanted some peace with her not screaming at me. And I remember the day I literally looked over at her, and I looked over at a pillow on the bed, and I contemplated. Seriously, just not to smother her, but to mute her and to just drown out all of the noise. Because I felt like I couldn't think. It was all like, it was rough. It was rough. And I should have caught it then, or somebody else should have caught it then. And it lasted for over a year. Because remember, I made the call home. She was near 1 then. And I'm still having, these feelings. So, yeah, that's what I knew. That's when I knew. When I just didn't give a bleep about life. That's when I knew. What mental health struggles am I managing? Well, I'll be honest. I personally feel like I have had bouts of depression ever since. And then I noticed that I have seen anxiety pop up in my life more than ever, especially after having my boys. But every day I'm conscious. I'm conscious of how I'm feeling, and actually lean into those emotions. So just being able to recognize them, validate them. We all go through something, whether we admit it or know or register it or not. But I do thank Mommy for what it has been to me. The women in that organization or in this organization are truly, I don't know how to say it other than a sisterhood. Just a place of support that is a safe place of support. Those women have helped me just as much, I feel like, as I have helped them, if not more, and I hope they know that. I started the organization to help them, but to be honest, they have given it back to me just as much, because them just showing up in their authentic selves and being brave enough to say, hey, I need help, I'm struggling, or hey, I mean, they turn it around and even, call me and say, or text me and say, hey, just checking in, how are you today? So it's the give and the receive, and it rotates. It's never a one-sided thing. And so it has helped me tremendously. Again, started it wanting to help others, but yeah, it's truly a village where people pour back into you as well. So you come one way, and it is our goal that you leave totally different. So if you come to us in a bad place, then I can guarantee that your life will be changed. So 18 years ago, I had no idea what postpartum depression, perinatal mood disorders, maternal mental illnesses, however you want to label it. I had no clue what it was. I didn't. I remember, like, after the fact, when I went back and I researched and I looked back into my hospital discharge papers, and I saw a little paragraph about that big about postpartum depression specifically. And when I had my 5-year-old, I tried to be progressive and look ahead of time, since I had realized this is how I felt before. So I didn't want to feel that way again. So I started researching for resources throughout our state and realized that we didn't have any, literally. And this was almost 13 years later, right? And we still had no resources for maternal mental illnesses and people struggling like myself. So my hope for other parents, one, is that by sharing my story, it will make someone else, whether it's the mother or the father, or a family member, recognize some signs or symptoms, or at least say, maternal mental illnesses, what is that? And do some research about it. So that way she or he or they can reach out to someone for help, and do not keep it in. I can't stress that enough. It is not anything that you did to cause it, could have done to cause it. I tell my women, we joke here and say that just one of the lucky lottery picks, and it just so happened that it's not a monetary gain on this one. So so if I had to say, my hope for parents is that you understand that it's not your fault, and that you also understand that it's okay to ask for help, and that there is help available. So get the help that you need, that you deserve, and that you want. Because motherhood is supposed to be a beautiful thing, but if you're struggling through it, you'll miss it. You'll miss those moments. Like, I think I have one baby picture of my, excuse me. Yeah, so I think I have one baby picture of my daughter because I just wasn't interested in capturing that moment. So that's a time in her life that I can't share with her. So ask for help. Get help. You deserve it. My name is Lauren, and Mommy is the community that makes a difference.